signed by Ole, now worth 10.138% more. Manchester United hit the jackpot on £50,000 for weeks. Nightmare. One United star has seen his valuation soar since moving to Old Trafford in recent years. For a brief moment in look as if Manchester United had snapped victory at the dead way to rival Arsenal. As the nature started, Alessandro Garnacho stepped off the bench to produce a simple clinical finish to widen the home crowd. Wearing the boots that his idol Cristiano Ronaldo had worn when terrorizing the Gunners in the Champions League semi-final triumph in North London back in 2009, the 90-year-old appeared to have emulated his former teammate by stealing the headlines this time around, creating what would have been a much-needed win for the Red Devils. As the tightest of offside goals ultimately cut the Argentine celebration short, and as Eric Ten Hag a goer left to reflect on what might have been had Casemiro a pass been made a fraction earlier on had a winger began his run a split second later. As it is, the Congo's winners counted for nothing in the end, a bit while having yet again illustrated judges at Old Trafford just what a talent they have on their hands, with the club having truly hit the jackpot when signing the Madrid native back in the summer of 2020. How much did Manchester United pay for Alessandro Garnacho? The superstar was snapped up during Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's time in charge just under 3 years ago, with the then Atletico Madrid youngster arriving alongside two other Spanish talents in the form of Real Madrid's Alvaro Fernandez and Barcelona's Marc Girata. Among the trio of deals, the Leatherman is no longer on the books, a debtor of dreams after signing for Espanyol this summer on the permanent deal with a legend left back. Fernandez has been sent out on loan to Granada, despite the injury crisis involving Luciao and Tyrell Malaysia. As for Garnacho, the wing wizard, who cost a measly £420,000 at the time, has already established himself as a prominent figure in Ten Hag's first team ranks, having chalked up 39 senior appearances since making his debut as top-page time substitute at home to Chelsea back in April 2022. It is fair to say that since making the move under Solskjaer's, what the forward valuation has soared dramatically, with it hard to underestimate is what the bargain capture it was for the Red Devils. What is Garnacho market value? Not only was 5'11" Jam signed alongside Fernandez and Girata, but it was also part of a summer influx that included the acquisition about Abatiella and Facundo Pellitteri, with the pair joining from Atlanta and Venerable respectively. In the case of Aim, the Ivorian Gem, who didn't actually arrive in Manchester until January 21, has gone on to make just 9 appearances for United following his £37 million switch, with the 21-year-old currently fully at just €15 million, or about £13 million according to CIS Football Observatory. As for Pellitteri, the diminutive winger has never by Solskjaer and Kelp from his native Uruguay on a £9 million deal, although like the man above, the 21-year-old impact has also been rather limited, having been restricted to just 12 first-team outings over the past 3 years. That has ensured that the Montevideo-born speedster is now worth a little less €5 million, or about £4 million, with those two rather costly deals having failed in comparison to the low-cost edition of the sparkling Garnacho, who is now said to be worth €50 million, or about £43 million as per CIS. Such a stellar figure represents an increase of a roughly 10.138% since this move from Athletic, with the signing seemingly one of the few associate transfer moves that United have made in the post-Sir Alex Ferguson era. Why is Garnacho worth that much? There might even be those of a United practitioner who believe that the £50,000 per week's talent is worth even more than that 43 months fund figure, particularly with the Fleetwood Dynamo having only recently signed a new contract extension until the summer of 2028. The bumper new deal had come amid the report that Real Madrid were sniffing around in the hope of brushing the in the bomb ace from Old Trafford, with Los Blancos having previously captured Ronaldo from the club back in 2009. Such interest in Garnacho talents has emerged due to his apparent likeness to the Portuguese icon, having been described as being like a young Cristiano by treble winner Paul Scholes after being handed his full senior debut against FC Sheriff in the Europe League last season. That competitive first team bow and come after the player had shown in academy ranks during the 21-22 campaign, notably firing the club to first success in the FA Youth Cup since 2011 after scoring 7 times and providing just 3 assists in just 6 games in the competition. The two-cap international was particularly instrumental in the showpiece victory over Nottingham Forest after scoring twice on the day in front of record-breaking home crowd, having brought just why is seemingly a man for the big occasion. How many goals has Garnacho scored for Manchester United? Described as a fullback's nightmare by MUTV pundit Fabian Brandy. Garnacho should kick on from the FA Youth Cup success despite enjoying little involvement during last season's pre-season tour, having been punished by Ten Hag for being late to team meetings. A stunning winner at the death in the EFL Trophy win over Darrell early last season seemingly illustrated that the dynamic menace was destined for a more prominent role in the first team, with that chance soon coming against the aforementioned Sheriff. The teenager truly announced his arrival to the wider world just prior to the World Cup break back in November, however having clinched victory for Ten Hag's side in either time, away to Fulham, touching onto Christian Eriksen a traded pass before calmly shooting home. That eye-catching burst and finish remain one of just 5 goals that Garnacho has scored to date, albeit with those efforts on table including a late winner in the FA Cup against West Ham United, as well as away to a bitter rival Leeds United at Ellen Road. The emerging Red Devil poster boy also provided the assist for Marcus Rashford clincher in the Manchester Derby victory back in January, and he already has 5 assists in total from his 39 outings so far, indicating just what a weapon he can be from the flanks. Of course, the next step is for Garnacho to establish himself as a regular figure in the starting 11, although it would be no surprise if that promotion was not occurred sooner rather than later, thus helping to bolster his already sizable American value.